Hello friends, today I will explain you the basics of C++ that C++ is required for the implementation of competitive programming 1 programming challenges. In the last lecture, I introduced you about competitive programming 1. In session 1, I will give you some of the information about the online juice, how to create membership on online juice. After creating membership or after logging to the online judge, how you seen the PDFs of each and every problem that will be given in our syllabus of competitive programming 1. So friends, if you see each and every PDF, that PDF contains the problem definition, possibly that also consists algorithm, the inputs that will be given by the user. That input is called as sample input, that also given in the PDF, and last one that provides also the sample output for each and every program. So I compulsorily told you, please create membership on online church or CodeShare, because that two or three websites are given in your syllabus. So friends, I also told you how the online church provides different status after submission of your programming challenge or program, or after implementation of your program. If you submit your problem or program or implemented program to the online judge, that online judge automatically check and gives you number of or various types of status to you. So from that status, you understand that your program is executed or not, and what are the errors are consist in your program. So in that session, that is session number 2, we study some basics. First of all, what is OOP and what is the important concept in. So in that session, that is session number 2, we study some basics. So first of all, what is OOP and what are the important concepts or important pillars of object oriented language. So in that slide, there are four different types of pillars or object oriented programming language. Also, the important the concepts are given in further C++, for example, data abstraction, multiple inheritance. So, my dear friends, the data hiding is a term or the technique which hides data from the internal objects, that is, data members. Data hiding guarantees restricted data access to class members and maintain object integrity. So, my dear friends, that C++ or object oriented language provides you three to four different types of access modifiers. For example, private, public, protected, friend. So, if you study that object oriented access modifiers, You see that if we use public keyword or access modifier, that particular class or that particular object or that particular method is used by publicly in the program from any file. Private, that private is used only in the same class or in the same function. Means the class members of that private function or private class which only access that specific class only. And if you see protected, protected simply shows the inheritance. Means the child class can access the properties of its parent class. So data hiding is very important concept in C++ that will be hides some of the objects or methods from other classes, other methods. The next concept is encapsulation. That encapsulation is a process or is a concept which binds data and function together. That will be keep that data and function together while keeps both same from the outside reference. For example, we define an integer type of variable that is num. If we define that num as a private variable, so that does not access by other method or other class, because by using that private we have to encapsulate data and the function where we have to define that data, that is the encapsulation. So friends, if you write any type of C++, C language program or implement that C or C++ program or any type of language program, you have to require two things. First is what? The program elements. That is the part of the program that perform action. Means you have to write some functions, some methods, some of the objects as well as some concepts or classes. And after writing that program, for execution of that program, you also require program data. For example, if I write the class student, that class student requires the data like as student name, student mobile number, address, email ID, etc. etc. So that program of C or C++ or any language is divided into two parts. That is program elements, means the actual program we have to written, and the data required for that program, that is what the second program data element. So friends, next one is inheritance. It is easy to understand. Inheritance or multiple inheritance. If you have to draw the family chart of our own family, we find that the father and then next their son or sons, and after that their sons also have one or two next descendants. So that is what? That is the inheritance. For example, If we have to take the example of shape of a specific in a specific in a geometry, that shape have rectangular shape, ellipse, circle, and that particular ellipse, rectangular shape or circle have number of attributes. So friends, that is nothing but their inheritance. In inheritance, the child can access the property of its parents also. So it is the ability of a class to derive on inherit methods and properties in that C++ from the reference of any class or any function that derive or inherit the methods of another class or another function. Then, what is polymorphism? Polymorphism means many forms, and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. For example, if I have to given you the example of sound of animals, so sound of animals have a many more forms. Sound of dog, sound of cat, etc., etc. So that sound of dog or sound of cat are the multiple forms of animal sound. So that is what the polymorphism is. That is the next slide, standard libraries. So it have three important parts. The core language giving all the building blocks including data types, variables, literals. Means what? When we have to write the program, at that time we have to use different types of variables, different types of data types also, and the real literals required for our programs. Variables, the definition of variable is to store something in the form of number, in the form of alphabet, or in alphanumerical values at a particular memory location, and that stored value or the data is required at the time of execution. For that storing that values, we have to use variable. The name of variable is that means that, or the name of variable means vary, that will be changed at the runtime. Means what? We also provide the value at the runtime also. So next point is C++ standard libraries gives a rich set of functions. Dear friends, you also write the program for C language and you provide number of headers. Means you also understand that there are different types of libraries that also provided in C. Same in C++, there are various type of C++ standard libraries. For example, cstdlib, cmath, iostream, string, algorithm, vector. Vector is very much important for us because we are uses vector in number of programs in competitive programming one, concepts, etc. So that C++ standard library is a collection of classes and associated functions. Standard C++ library incorporates all the standard C libraries. Friends, the important thing or the important use of C++ language is, if you've seen, for tomorrow's IT era, information technology era. When any new hardware is introduced in the market, so that hardware requires some of the interfacing programming languages to interconnect with the laptop. That hardware part is interconnected with the laptop. For that purpose, we have to require some source code or the program to easy to interface with laptop or any other device. So for that purpose, the developers use two or three easy interfacing hardware interfacing languages. One is assembly language and another one is C++. So मेरा कहना आपको इतना ही है कि अगर हमें हार्डवेयर इंटरफेसिंग करके देना है या फिर कोई एक नया हार्डवेयर अगर मार्केट में इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाता है, दैट टाइम वो हार्डवेयर इंटरफेसिंग करने के लिए C++ का यूज किया जाता है. So there are various types of uses of C++. Dear friends, thousands of programmers use C++ day by day. I also told you that will be easy interface to the different types of hardwares with the computer. So for that purpose, writing the programs, we require or we use C++ programming language. दोस्तों, have you heard about device driver? Yes, because you are the computer engineer. When you have to purchase computer, at that time that particular shop owner gives you different types of hardwares. If you assemble your computer, then that will be gives you different types of that will be ask you different type of configurations of your computer. Means what? अगर आपने उसको कहा कि मुझे 2 GB का रैम चाहिए, 100 GB का 500 GB का हार्ड डिस्क चाहिए, 1 TB का हार्ड डिस्क चाहिए, मॉनिटर एंड एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. सो ये पूरा असेंबल करने के बाद में आफ्टर इंस्टॉलेशन ऑफ विंडोज we require some drivers. Device driver is a program. It is what? A program. That device driver is a program that will be easily handle hardwares those are connected with the in the computer or components that are connected with the computer. So ये जो डिवाइस ड्राइवर का प्रोग्रामिंग कोड है, देखो अगर आप इंस्टॉलेशन विंडोज का इंस्टॉलेशन करते हो तो आपको डिवाइस ड्राइवर लगेंगे. इसके लिए ग्राफिक्स अच्छे से दिखना चाहिए, वीडियोस अच्छे से दिखने चाहिए, माउस के लिए डिवाइस ड्राइवर होता है, कीबोर्ड के लिए डिवाइस ड्राइवर का प्रोग्राम होता है. So these are the different types of device drivers for the different types of components. So that device driver program is easily implemented by using C++, and that C++ provides the security also. Many more things are provided by C++. Apple Macintosh or the PC running Windows has directly used C++. These are the basic concepts of C++. Object, we know that if we see TY computer is a class, in that every student is the object. Object have a states and behavior. That is the difficult definition. But in easy way, object have number of properties. Means what? Or attributes. Means what? The attributes of a student as an object. There are various types of attributes: student name, student mobile number, student email id, address, etc, etc. This is what the object. That's it. Class. Third year computer is the class. Means what? The class which consists number of objects or collection of objects, and that will be describes that states of that objects. For example, fe is a state, ac is a state, ty is a state of a class, then that will indicate the ty student as a class, and that students of ty computer are in a third year. That's it. Class is a collection of different types of objects, and that class gives the states of that object. That's it. Method. A method is specifically a behavior. Class have collection of methods. Instant variable. Each object has its unique set of instant variables. Then next, friends, C++ program structure. How we have to write the C++ program? What is the basic structure of that program? I know that आप सभी को पता है कि प्रोग्राम का स्ट्रक्चर किस तरह से है. आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल से आपने लास्ट ईयर में ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग का आपको सब्जेक्ट भी था, लेकिन दैट प्रोग्रामिंग सब्जेक्ट इज इन जावा. ओके, सो बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको सी प्लस प्लस पता नहीं है. सो दैट इज व्हाट द सिंपल प्रोग्राम स्ट्रक्चर. इंक्लूड आईओ स्ट्रीम यूजिंग नेम स्पेस std. जिस तरह से मैंने आपको बताया stl स्टैंडर्ड हेडर फाइल्स ये यहाँ पे दी जाएगी. द नेक्स्ट, we have to define the main function, that int that will be returns the integer value. main में हम लोगों ने लिखा है, देखो जिस तरह से हम लोग सी लैंग्वेज में लिखते हैं printf लाइक दिस, सी आउट यहाँ पे लिखा जाता है सी प्लस प्लस में हेलो वर्ल्ड, और फाइनली वी हैव टू राइट हियर सेमीकोलन. Semicolon indicates that the end of that statement. Okay, that semicolon, double quote and less than, greater than साइन जो भी दिया हुआ है, उसके बाद में कमेंट के लिए दो स्लैश उन्होंने यूज किए हैं. So these things, open curly, close curly, these are the things that will be very important for the compiler, because that compiler have 9 different types of phases: semantic phase, syntactic phase, parsing. ऐसे बहुत सारे phases कंप्यूटर में कंपाइलर में होते हैं. सी आउट ये जो कीवर्ड है, इसका यूज करके कंपाइलर क्या करता है, कंपाइलर वहां पे सी आउट आने के बाद में दैट विल बी प्रिंट द मैसेज. मीन्स व्हाट? अगर आपने ये प्रोग्राम को एग्जीक्यूट कर लिया दोस्तों, तो हेलो वर्ड आपके सामने प्रिंट होके आएगा. अगर सी प्लस प्लस का कंपाइलर स्लैश स्लैश को एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है, मतलब उसको पता है दिस लाइन इज द कमेंट लाइन. सो दैट इज द सिंगल लाइन कमेंट, मल्टीपल लाइन कमेंट, स्लैश स्टार, उसके बाद में आपको जो लिखना है वो स्लैश और फिर से स्टार और फिर से स्लैश. सो इस तरह से एक बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर होता है सी प्लस प्लस में. Then next, how we have to compile that program and execute that program. First of all, open the text editor and write your C++ code. Simple, easy. Then next, save that file with the file name .cpp. Open your command prompt and go to the directory where you have to save your C++ file name .cpp program. Then next, type g++ file name .cpp for compilation of your program. Okay, if compiler checks your program and if that program does not contain any error, then you have to type a dot out and you have to get lastly finally answer of that program. So friends, C++ have lots of keywords like C language. There are 36 different types of keywords: ASM, auto, bool, break, case, catch, character, struct, switch, template, volatile, varchar underscore t. देखो wchar underscore t. That wchar underscore t is the data type in C language, C++ language. I think their size is 2 byte. Wide character उसको बोला जाता है. Okay. Type def, we have to define our data variable as per our modification in the program. So friends, जब भी हम कोई स्पेसिफिक प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज का स्टडी करते हैं तो हम अलग अलग टाइप्स के डेटा टाइप्स या फिर अलग अलग डेटा टाइप्स का यूज करके वेरिएबल्स को डिफाइन करते हैं और वही वेरिएबल्स को डिफाइन करके हम लोग वो वेरिएबल्स का यूज एज पर द क्लास, एज पर द फंक्शन, एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द प्रोग्राम उसको यूज कर लेते हैं. सो देर आर प्रिमिटिव 5 डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ प्रिमिटिव डेटा टाइप्स यहाँ पे दिए गए हैं. पहला दिया है बुलियन वेरिएबल. बुलियन वेरिएबल, here we have to check true or false condition. Then next character. Character, that is I think 1 byte character. We have to store A, B, C, D. A, B, C, these are the characters. So characters हम लोग यहाँ पे स्टोर कर सकते हैं. बंच ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स स्टोर करने के लिए हम लोग स्ट्रिंग करके यूज करते हैं. मीन्स व्हाट, अगर मैं कैरेक्टर का एरे डिफाइन कर दूं तो वहां पे हम लोग बंच ऑफ एरेज भी स्टोर कर सकते हैं. इंटीजर, वी हैव टू स्टोर न्यूमेरिक वैल्यूज. फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट, डेसिमल वैल्यू जो भी रहेगी वो स्टोर करने के लिए फ्लोट करके वेरिएबल का यूज करते हैं. डबल फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट, डबल द वेरिएबल इज डबल, data type is double of that variable we have to store here. Means what, floating point and double floating point इसमें सिर्फ स्टोरेज स्पेस का डिफरेंस है. देन नेक्स्ट, अगर यही पांचों प्रिमिटिव डेटा टाइप्स को मुझे अच्छे से एक्सटेंड करना है और मॉडिफाई करना है तो साइन, अनसाइन, शॉर्ट एंड लॉन्ग, ये स्पेसिफिक जो सेकेंडरी डेटा टाइप्स मुझे यहाँ पे दिए गए हैं या फिर मॉडिफाइड डेटा टाइप्स जो मुझे दिए गए हैं उसका यूज मैं कर. So in that slide there are various types of data types are given. Their typical bit width is also given. Their range also given in the table. For example, if we take the example of character, the size of character is 1 byte. Then next, if we take float, the size of float is 4 byte. Long double, primitive data type is what? Double. That size is 8 byte. Long double, that size is 8 bytes. And there is no difference in between double and long double. No. 15 digits, 15 digits. Sign long int and unsigned long int. Sign long int working same as long int, and unsigned long int working as stored 4 bytes, that is 0 to 4, 294, 0 to 4, 294, 967, 295. मीन्स व्हाट, इतना वो डेटा वहां पे उसको स्टोर करने की परमिशन दे सकता है. सो if you have to print different types of sizes of the different types of data types, then we type this program. So students, मुझे आपको यही कहना है कि आप ये प्रोग्राम आपके एडिटर में एग्जीक्यूट करके देखना है। देन नेक्स्ट सिंपल प्रोग्राम मैंने यहाँ पे लिया हुआ है और ये प्रोग्राम में हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, c इज इक्वल टू 10 प्लस 20 दैट इज फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट वैल्यू मैं यहाँ पे प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ फ्लोट। हाँ, यहाँ पे मुझे आपको एक्सटर्न कीवर्ड बताना था। एक्सटर्न कीवर्ड की जो वेरिएबल होता है, यहाँ पे देखो अलग अलग टाइप में वेरिएबल्स को डिफाइन किया गया है। इंटीजर ए बी एक्सटर्न करके कीवर्ड है, दैट विल बी रेफर फ्रॉम अनदर फाइल। मीन्स व्हाट, आप क्या करोगे, यहाँ पे वेरिएबल को एक फाइल में डिफाइन कर दोगे और वही वेरिएबल एक्सटर्नली दूसरे फाइल्स में आप क्या कर सकते हो, यहाँ पे उसको यूज कर सकते हो। सो फ्रेंड्स, आज के सेशन के लिए इतना ही काफी। सेशन नंबर 3 में मैं आपको और कुछ प्रोग्राम्स, सी प्लस प्लस के कंसेप्ट्स, कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामिंग 1 के कुछ कंसेप्ट्स मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा। थैंक यू।